Who's worth impressing?
Nobody. You should impress yourself, not by ego.
Yes.
By understanding.
There was this news that I read somewhere that you bought back putting 2,600 crores. Why is emotions important to understand?
In actual position, we are all bundle of fear. Somebody who can break away from it is salvation. So if fear was not ingrained in you when you were born, you will die next moment. So in order for life to continue, it was important that fear was injected in you by the creation.
So it's a feature, not a bug.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I met Osho. He used to be outside Rajanish.
Were you fearing at the time when you were creating a venture?
The trace of even a semblance of that fear wasn't there.
No.
I knew we'll survive.
So for somebody who is transitioning to the new state that they don't identify yet within this uncertainty and they are gripped by fear, how can they break through the shackle right now?
Then should.
In this video, I talked to LC Singh about who's worth impressing, why LC put in thousands of crores in the company, why is it important to understand your emotions, including fear, what is true emotional intelligence, how does one change their behavior, how to navigate from a senior corporate role to building something of your own, the beauty of perspectives, and what LC learned from Osho back in 1970s. I hope you find value inside. This Nitin Dua, serving you with love. You use this word impress just a while ago. Who's worth impressing, if anything?
Nobody.
Nobody.
You should impress yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
not by ego.
yes.
By understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the version that you were before or the version that you're becoming?
No, I'm saying, first thing, I don't think I ever had, the ambition and positioning ourselves that it will make me happy. I've never done anything to make me happy. So all I'm saying, my entire journey has been to understand the nature of life, basically. What is in my control, what is not in your control. So, like quantum, like you've seen the book of Sapolsky.
I have not actually.
Robert Sapolsky has written, the life without free will.
Sure.
Yeah. Living life without free will. So all I'm saying, you're put in a situation, accept it. Okay. Yeah. If you feel you have that talent, apply your best. Even if it doesn't happen, who cares? And even if tragedy happens, take it. Yeah. We love drama, which has maximum, emotions.
Yes.
Right? Film also. So all I'm saying, why are you scared with life? That's what actually you enjoy doing it. So good, bad, everything you must enjoy.
So what is it about? I know you are trying to understand, or you have understood emotions quite deeply. You have a initiative on that also that we talked about.
Correct. Yeah.
And we just brought about the emotions in a movie or the drama of life. Why is emotions important to understand?
Again, I think it's very detailed working is shown in The Collapse of Illusions, the book earlier in November, where you kindly came there.
And I keep the mug with me on my desk to keep me front and center.
Yeah. So then I think...
So here are a few moments of my gratitude, and I promise to keep this under a minute. Thank you for being here. What you see now on the screen are kind words from one of my coachees, who's a US-based executive, and he transitioned from playing a technical role as a senior director in a large corporate to now building his new creative venture that he finds meaning in. I'm so proud of him and what he's creating, and appreciate his genuine feelings expressed through his testimonial here as we worked in the coaching journey together and explored the setbacks, self-trust, identity, and the next chapter for him and his ventures creation and the go-to-market. If you're a senior professional aspiring to transition to something that's meaningful to you, I welcome you to check duanitin.com to see my own transition and of many others and connect with us. Link is in the description below, and consider subscribing on YouTube too. Now back to the main video.
The way humans are, I'm not saying should be.
Yeah.
They are a bundle of fear.
They are?
In Krishnamurti's word, they are nothing but bundle of fear.
Humans.
It's not my statement.
Jiddu Krishnamurti.
No, I'm saying that, that quote is there. But I'm saying that in actuality, in actual position, we are all bundle of fear. Somebody who can break away from it is salvation.
Is it only fear or something else?
Fear, every other emotion is a dialect of fear. So some are a kind of reactive. I get angry, you need chemicals to deal with it. So the cortisol and all that things come in. So they try to cope. But long-term effect of that is bad. Okay. So
long-term effect of being in a state of
heightened emotion.
Heightened emotions.
Yeah. Negative emotions, what you call. You can go into depression. You can go into become arrogant.
Do you see
become
emotions
egoistic.
as negative, positive? Is that the way you see it?
No. There's nothing like not. There's a necessity to basically fight with the fear. So they are a necessary condition. So if fear was not ingrained in you when you are born, you will die next moment. So in order for life to continue, it was important that fear was injected in you by the creation.
So it's a feature, not a bug.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We start enhancing it, and we are mistaken. The idea was that once you become, knowledgeable enough, drop that. Fear should not be there. Because initially there's no protection. Even you are not developed.
Yeah.
Your thinking is not developed. But the problem is that crutch, which I called, that we keep on creating. That is this philosophy or Punarjan or the religions, they are basically trying to cope with that fear factor basically. And you can, I don't want to name an institution, but every institution is basically based on eliminating your fear. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. I don't want to make claims. So everybody, essentially, they have promised to you that they can, if you go to them, they will eliminate your fear. That's all.
And here institution, like you're referring to a few things.
Whatever institutions, wherever I'm saying, when it is promised to give you peace, okay, then that's a trade, isn't it?
What do you mean by that?
I'm saying that then, you are under the premise of salvation or peace, basically. Okay? You are attracting wealth from others who are essentially in fear. That's why they're coming to you. So all such institutions exploit fear, basically. Even in corporate life, you need stress. That restlessness I'm referring to.
Yeah.
So don't relate to the stress that is. But the idea is that if you are satisfied with your kind of state, then change doesn't happen. That's the argued philosophy of people because they are all in fear. There's no commentary on people who acknowledge they are in fear and they go to whatever I'm saying, establishment.
What is the reason to understand emotions better? Like, why should one care?
Because if you don't, you will die in the very moment. So the very fact is that, let's say the accident happened, life was born. So what should have been the normal course? Should have died. If miracle happened, chemical soup, lightning, okay, life got formed. Then why did it continue? Okay? So there was a mechanism working. Now I'm saying. And don't call God and all. I'm saying the mechanism was intelligent enough, realized that accident to ho gaya, miracle, but it will last. The way it came, it will go away. Yet life stayed. And the probability was 10 raised to the power of 40,000. 1:2.
Yeah.
So it's impossible still. So therefore I'm saying the fear was ingrained with you with an identity, saying that you are separate than others. Okay? So separation happened there. Aham Brahmasmi wahin pe dilute ho gaya. Because now you are protecting yourself from the environment. No, you want to eat, you are scared of something. Which
so then you have to come back to it.
So the fear basically. So now in that I'm saying the emotion is required. Like if you come face to face with a lion or something, you should know. Because your emotions will be, the fear will be overpowering. So all those things I'm saying is the institution, the life needed fear. But it should not be, one should not cling on it.
Sure.
Basically, that's all.
And what is true intelligence with respect to emotions?
True intelligence means?
It is intelligence in various forms.
Yeah,
There is cognitive intelligence, and then in this space, then we are talking about emotions.
correct.
What does intelligence look like?
No, intelligence would look like that. Can't you see that it was ingrained in you for a purpose? Now that time is gone. Now you can take care of yourself without being, obsessed with fear. Okay, so drop it. And if you don't, I'm saying drop it. Then it's like somebody, a child is given a walker. Okay, just imagine if in 20 years he's still walking with a walker.
Yeah.
That is the state of affairs of people now. So drop the
Things you don't
crutches.
see.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you mentioned also throughout this conversation some element of behavior. And I've spent a lot of time in health, so behavior becomes a big shift that people have to undertake. And, we also empower on the health front. Have you found out a way to behave differently?
Yes, of course.
Or let's say shift the behavior that you have been carrying, the crutch that you just described or the walker, 20 years. How do you shift from that conditioning to dropping the...
Nitin, the point is, if you try something, then already you are, I'm saying, is the half-truth. Or you don't have to. If you understand the reality, it will automatically happen. Fear will go away. Once your significance of the vitality of the death, okay, if you can understand, that's like literally now I'm saying even Gita and everywhere, so it's like changing cloth. So would you like to live like, organs failing, can't walk, all time you are scared, you need help from others?
Sure.
Would you like to live that life? If not, then what is the big deal about death?
Were you fearing at the time when you were creating a venture? Nihilent, you wanted to get to freedom.
No, I would have never. If I would have never created, I would work for top companies. I was in the almost highest position. I was running a public company.
Did you have fear like when you were leaving that and starting something that you don't know?
No, I have always
Uncertainty.
confidence.
Okay.
Yeah, I never doubted. Even with 911, everything happened. When bubble burst happened, all that happened. The trace of even a semblance of that fear wasn't there.
Okay.
I knew we'll survive.
And how did you survive?
I don't know. No, survive means we survived. That's all.
With your?
We survived.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. So that I'm Brahmashmi now. So if you have that confidence, then what are you scared of? But look at
So for somebody who is transitioning to the new state that they don't identify yet within this uncertainty and they are gripped by fear, how can they break through the shackle right now?
then shouldn't have started. Simple.
Shouldn't have started.
I mean, I started by choice. No? I had offers that people can't believe even before starting the company.
Yeah.
There were 4 my Mende guys had come from America, Silicon Valley, and they're trying to persuade me saying that you become now the shareholder and basically founder and the CEO. And we'll buy 10 to 12 companies and we'll list it, basically. Money, intent was making money because, the bubble was going on now.
And I want to also understand, there was this news that I read somewhere that you bought back putting 2,600 crores, some piece
To
back
gain freedom.
to gain freedom again.
Yeah.
What made you successful, or what made you come this far?
Let me just answer that one thing.
Yeah.
About number of very close friends internationally, they advise me not to.
Yeah.
So take your money.
Yeah.
Your age is now 75, 76. You have crossed. What are you chasing?
Yeah.
So I'm saying
So
that
what are you chasing?
that's exactly what I'm not chasing anything at all.
Yeah.
Okay, it had to be done, so I did that. That's it.
It had to be done for your peace,
Free.
for your
Freedom. Peace, I'm always at peace. Even in
for your freedom.
freedom is basically what I want to do. I didn't go listing because of that. Because they will curtail the freedom. Because if people don't understand what I'm talking about, then what is the point of working with them?
Yeah. So it gets entangled, sometimes not by choice, but just the way it happens.
That happened when I got into State Bank of India. I got my training at IBM. I met Osho. He used to be outside Rajneesh.
Okay.
So since I'd come from Banaras. So Cross Maidan, I have heard almost a month, every day his lectures.
When was that?
Then I realized it became commercial, so dropped him.
Okay. When was this?
This was 71.
And you met him somewhere in Europe?
No, Cross Maidan, Bombay.
Bombay. Was there any learning that you had from that time before?
Yes. One thing which I'll never forget is that there's the perspective. He said there's nothing right and wrong. It depends on who is interpreting and whose side you are.
Yeah.
So it's not the absolute truth.
The beauty of these conversations is perspectives.
Yeah.
So that's what we try to gather from diverse people.
Correct.
And you see for what works for you, but at least you see the other aspect to it.
Absolutely.
The way you haven't probably so far. But just coming back, let's see if you have to look how far you've come, particularly in the context of the venture that you created, Nihilent. What would you attribute that to?
I've never come, by the way, anywhere. I'm saying it's like a